Hey, what's up, guys? So, check out this woman's response to her experience at a restaurant next to a table full of liberals. Now, mind you, that this woman is wearing a red Trump hat, and I'm pretty sure this is in California. So, this woman experiences immense bullying and harassment. And then later on in this video, I'm going to play you a clip that Elon Musk shared that went super viral. It was of a man who was a victim to the liberal mainstream media of their portrayal of Charlie Kirk. This man bases his entire opinion off of quotes and snippets and then later decided to watch Charlie's debates in full, and then came to the realization that he was lied to the entire time. Anyways, it's a good listen, so stay tuned for that.
Let me just tell you how disgusting this behavior is, because I would never ever do this to somebody, no matter how you vote, what you voted for, who you voted for. I do not care. I would never ever act like this. I was literally at dinner with my family and family friends, and I'm wearing my Trump hat. That's who I voted for. That's who your president is. And I had someone come up to me, and he was sitting at a big table. I don't know, a large party of like maybe 12 people, comes up to me and he said, "Can I ask why you voted for that person and why you're wearing that hat?" And I said, "I voted for him because it was my right, just like whoever you voted for was your right." Assuming already that he votes opposite of me. He said, "Okay, well, I'll be honest, I voted for him too, but a bunch of people at my table hate Trump." And I said, "Okay, that's fine, that's their right." And he goes, "But a lot of them said that they would pay me $50 if you would let me flip his hat off of your head." And he goes, "So can I do that? Can I flip your hat off of your head?" And I looked at him and I said, "You cannot." And I look over and I have a whole table, and this is grown adults, by the way, multiple grown adults who allegedly are now saying that they are nurses and doctors and blah, 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 as if that gives them a green light to act like that. So they are sitting there and staring at me. So I decided to look at them, and I blew them a kiss because I did not allow him to flip the hat off of my head, which I think is like so invasive and so inappropriate. Mind you, I had my 8-year-old son at dinner with me. Then fast forward to about 10 minutes after that, there's a woman who's kind of wandering around the bar. She's completely like disoriented. She kind of is super wobbly. This woman falls down. She's an older lady. I get up out of my chair and I run over to help her up. She happens to be next to this table full of Trump haters, right? So I'm helping this woman up who almost hit her head. She's completely out of it. Just did not seem like she was with it. She clearly had dementia. I'm helping this elderly woman up, and this table starts barking, "You voted for Trump? Did you vote for Trump?" As I'm helping a woman up who we had to call 911 on, and she had to get taken to the hospital because she was completely out of it. It was beyond drunk. Apparently a neighbor of hers was there, said that she had dementia, a brain injury not too long ago. Anyway, the fact that I couldn't even help someone in need without these liberals heckling me was disgusting. And I took a picture of them because I was so frazzled. And you guys, like, listen, I know when I wear this hat, I'm going to have people that are not going to like it. However, I am not expecting a group of adults who sat there and said, we're nurses and we're doctors. Guess what? I'm in the fucking medical field too. Go fuck yourselves. I don't even care if you're a priest. You do not act like that. That is disgusting behavior. So I'm going to post a picture, and I hope this woman's face, this is the mother of the group, by the way, the mother of the group. I hope this woman's face goes so viral, and her husband who's sitting on her left goes so viral. You guys are disgusting. I hope someone knows you. I hope this gets back to your workplace. You are a foul individual.
Okay, so first off, you allegedly have this table full of physicians, nurses, and people generally in the healthcare industry. But why was it your first initial reaction to an elderly woman falling to the ground next to your table was to go after the other woman who's trying to help her, all because she's wearing a red Trump hat? See, this is the issue I have with these liberals because they are just so consumed by President Trump and they want to demonize Trump and his followers in any way possible. And I think the best example of that is the recent news of the reflection pool, where you have the liberal mainstream media and Democrats going insane, all because Trump is spending money, $14 million, to renovate, remodel the reflection pool. And then you also have some of these liberals protesting that they're pro algae, and then some of these other retards vandalizing the reflection pool. Honestly, the Democrats really need to do something about their supporters because such a large faction of them are absolutely insane. The fact that you cannot stand another person wearing a Trump hat and that you have to resort to political violence, harassment, or bullying truly shows you what this Democrat Party stands for. Okay, so now I'm going to segue to the Elon Musk clip because I think it's a very good reflection as to what I'm talking about how ideologically captured these liberals truly are.
I'm actually glad that Charlie Kirk was murdered, but probably not for the reason you think. I was at work when I first found out. A fellow employee had wandered up to me, cell phone in hand, and asked, "Did you hear that Charlie Kirk just got assassinated?" And I, without even a moment's hesitation, responded, "Good! Nazi white supremacist piece of shit!" I had never before witnessed such a perfectly blended expression of disgust, disappointment, sadness, and surprise, all through the window of another man's eyes, or experienced a silence so uncomfortable as the one that followed. And although that look on his face now haunts me more and more with each passing day, at the time, it only made me distrustful and upset. But little did I know that the sentence which followed would end up becoming the most profoundly psychologically impactful question that I've ever been confronted with. Have you ever actually watched any of his debates? I decided to end the conversation immediately. This man was clearly a lost cause, one of those intellectually dishonest Kool-Aid drinking types who refuses to engage in good faith with any perspective which contradicts their outstandingly narrow and propagandized worldview. And by this man, I mean me. Because I hadn't actually watched any of his debates. I was basing literally every single thing I believe about a human being with thousands of hours worth of publicly available recordings of himself openly expressing his opinions on a small handful of out-of-context clips that had been curated for me by algorithms and media organizations being funded by the political opposition. I foamed at the mouth, right along with the rest of those rabid and bloodthirsty dogs, gleefully mocking those who had been saddened by his death and downplaying the atrocity of it all by suggesting that political violence is just an unfortunate yet necessary step toward our coveted socialist revolution. That is, until I began to notice a common thread. The exact same comment being repeated ad nauseum in nearly every single online space. Have you ever actually watched any of his debates? I didn't think much of it at first. Of course right-wingers are all regurgitating the exact same talking point. They're in a cult. They're brainwashed. It was an ordinary and boring morning on the day I found out that I am a monster. In that moment where my curiosity got the best of me and I decided to click on some random YouTube thumbnail of Charlie Kirk with his goofy and gummy smile in an attempt to reaffirm my preconceived biases. And it was an unusually stressful afternoon on that very same day when I spoke to my father for the first time in years, despite the fact that he had always loved and supported me unconditionally. And it was a never-ending sleepless night, coming to terms with the fact that literally every single thing I thought I hated about the right, the bigotry, stupidity, violence, vitriol, and narrow-mindedness, was actually just an outward projection of hatred toward my own self. Charlie Kirk is my hero. He opened my eyes to the cruel and manipulative nature of our political media, brought my family back together, and taught me how to love again. And to anyone who takes issue or offense with that, I'm going to do exactly what he would have done, and challenge you to answer a simple, honest, and straightforward question. Have you ever actually watched any of his debates?
Okay, so this is a pretty good story because, like I said, so many people on the liberal side are ideologically captured. These people have been brainwashed into thinking that people like President Trump or Charlie Kirk were evil, fascist, Nazis. This is what the Democrat Party has done. They've been just demonizing people on the right. And this is a great story of seeing a guy come around and reconnecting with his family because I'm pretty sure this is what he was alluding to, that both him and his father kind of separated, went their own ways because of politics. But it's good that this man finally truly opened his eyes and saw the light. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.